Hey everybody, I'm coming to you today from my dining room. A little different spot for me to video, but I wanted to talk to you all about something. And basically I went to Walmart this morning, and before I go I always check my spices because I try and stock enough to get me through at least 6 months to a year in spices. And this is definitely towards my prepping. And I want to give you a couple pointers, a couple ideas to keep in mind. I watched Southern Prepper 1 do an experiment where he lived off of his food stores that he knew he had enough for, I think, either 1 or 2 years for 4 people. His key missing ingredient, from what I could tell, because he only lasted 4 days living off his rice and beans and whatever else he threw in there. I didn't find the videos where he actually reviewed what he was eating. But he got tired of rice and beans in 4 days, everybody. Does that tell you something? Variety is the spice of life. If you have a fussy child, they're not going to eat rice and beans for days on end and be happy or content. So your goal should be 2 years of food storage, bare minimum, for the amount of people in your family. And then once you get to that point, you can build on it and go for 3 to 4 years, because even if it only lasted 1 year, you could feed extra people. And that's the goal. The other goal is to add variety. If you're eating rice and beans every stinking day, you've missed something important in your preps. One of your most important things should be canning your own homegrown food or vegetables you can get at a produce stand, a flea market in bulk. Vital that you're canning fresh produce. Can some collard greens, some kale greens, some peas, some corn, some green beans. And then from there, once you get the basics canned, branch out and start canning your meats. Today I'm canning ham. I may even can some ground beef and some chicken if I can get it defrosted in time. Tomorrow I'm not home. I'm going to the beach with the girls. Woohoo! And plan your preps with flavor. I can't stress that enough. Flavor, flavor, flavor. Most canned meats will store a year or more. So we store different flavors of Spam. So this is a low sodium variety. We also store the bacon. And they have a turkey one as well. So that gives you some variety there. We store, and this is just stuff I bought today to top off my stores. We store the white albacore tuna. And as you can see, I got 4 cans in each pack. 1 can per meal for us 3 in our family. And the other thing I store is corned beef hash. This is really nice. It's got a starch, which is a potato, and it's got a meat in it. Now you throw some eggs and some veggies with this, and you've got an amazing meal. Some onions and green peppers would be a great add to this as you're frying it up. Canning. Let's talk about canning. These are very hard for me to get, but I buy them at every opportunity. Walmart had this on their clearance rack. I snagged every one they had. Why? Because I can and make my own homemade spaghetti sauce, and currently I have about a year to a year and a half's worth of spaghetti sauce put back. And you can do so much with a red tomato sauce, so much. You can make Spanish rice, you can make chicken parmesan, you can just put it over your rice, over pasta. There's so much you can do. I can't stress enough of learning how to can your own homegrown produce or whatever you can buy in bulk at the local markets. Another thing to stock is your labels. It doesn't pay to have spaghetti sauce in jars if you're not labeling your jars and you know what that is and when it was put back, so you can rotate your food stores. Lids, always have extra lids. These are just 1 packet. I'm just showing these as an example. I did buy, I think, 5 packs of lids for the regular mouth lids and the wide mouth lids. And every chance I get, I buy lids and I buy canning jars. You can never have enough canning jars, especially if you have a large productive garden. Then let's talk about some spices here. This becomes, to me, one of your most important preps once you have your basics put down. Okay, so you bought a 10-pound bag of rice to put away. Find some seasoning packets to go with that 10-pound bag of rice and put it away with the rice. It's not difficult. Today I picked up some chili mixes. If I have my canned tomato sauce, and some kidney beans put back, I have chili. It's that simple. I also can sausage and I can ground beef. Now there's your meat to go in your chili if you want to do that. If you don't, you can make this a vegetarian version of chili. Either way, it's better than eating plain rice. The other part of this is, what do we put chili over? Okay, chili can be eaten by itself. It can be eaten with cornbread. Chili can be eaten with rice. Oh my God, your boring rice just got super exciting. It can also, and we do this quite often, we will make chili and put it over pasta. Think about every meal you make, what varieties you can add to it. And I don't know about you, but when I have the opportunity to go to a Steak and Shake, I get their 5-way chili. It's over spaghetti pasta. It usually has the chili on it. It'll have onions and cheese on it. If you didn't have cheese, which if in a SHTF situation, we're not going to have cheese. Your onions on your pasta and your chili is going to still make it a very desirable meal versus plain rice. Please think about what you're doing and planning. And I'm not wanting to pick on Southern Prepper 1 at all, because he does amazing videos and I'm really excited to be following him on YouTube. But his food experiment was an eye-opener to me. And I've been prepping spices so that we don't run into that scenario. I have a lot of spices, but you got to keep topping them off. If you stock and you don't restock, you're not going to have what you need when you need it. Mushroom gravy is a great add to any rice meal or pasta meal. Brown gravy mix is another great add to any rice or pasta mix, and they're two separate flavors. Now you start adding some homegrown onions and green peppers, and you have some really delicious stuff. Pesto. Pesto is generally used for pasta. But whoever said there was a rule that you couldn't do pesto rice? Think about it. Now, just with what little bit I showed you here, we have pesto rice, we have brown gravy rice, we have mushroom gravy rice, we have chili rice. Okay? If you couldn't eat that and last out at least a week or two, I'd be real surprised. But now, take it one step further. There are so many really awesome varieties for flavor out there. There's taco seasoning you could throw in your rice. There is like a lemon garlic flavor. There is so much you could add to rice to make it more enjoyable. And the other thing, okay, we're going to eat a lot of beans when the grid goes down or the SHTF happens. Why eat one type of bean? Why limit yourself? Just to give you an idea, this is from this morning, and again, I'm restocking some of my short-term stocks because all this that you see here, I have put back in long-term as well, okay? Black beans. Black beans with some tomatoes thrown in, some onions and peppers, served over that boring rice. Come on, people. Be creative. Enjoy your food no matter what your situation is going to be. Learn to cook off the cuff with what you have on hand. It is amazing what you can accomplish. One of my new favorites is, it's a 15 bean soup. Do we want to eat bean soup every day? Absolutely not. But guess what? You can change up this soup mix so it's not the same every day. One day, cook a pot of it, throw a can of tomatoes in it. The next day, if you're gonna have to cook a pot of it, throw some onions, peppers, and cabbage in it. Keep throwing different veggies in, and you'll have a different flavor every single day. And then they also have, see if I can get this up right. There's the Cajun bean soup. Now you've just added a beautiful zing to your variety pack of beans. Now you cook these beans with the Cajun seasoning packet that's in there, and you put that over your rice. Guys, come on. This is amazing for flavor. It's not going to be boring. It's beans, so you can store it long term. It's got its own flavor packet in there. It can't get any simpler than that. Can you store these long term? I sure think so, because I am doing it. Do I plan on eating a lot of beans? If I have to, but I'm also growing my own garden. If you're prepping and you haven't geared your mindset to start growing something edible, you're missing the boat, because your food stocks will run out. And I grabbed some Great Northern beans because I'm going to make a big pot of ham and bean soup. I'm canning ham today. So if you're stocking Great Northern beans and you're canning and putting back ham, I can't even tell you how amazingly delicious it will be to remake this when the grid is down. None of this is hard, guys. Think about it. Every time you pick up a pack of beans at the store, look at your spice rack, which is usually in a similar area, and say, okay, I'm going to try this bean with this seasoning or this seasoning or this seasoning. My rice, I'm going to throw this taco mix in my rice tonight and make taco rice. And then you make the rest of your meal. Start exploring your options for variety and spices. It's not a long video. It's just something I thought was important to touch on once again. Because, guys, without salt, pepper, your basic spices, life is going to be so horrible food-wise, and you don't need the stress. Life is going to get real tough real fast, and your stress load will be overwhelming. Don't add your food to that stress load. Get some tomatoes growing in your gardens. Get some cabbage planted. Learn what to do with those foods. Learn to make sauerkraut. It's easy. Learn to make spaghetti sauce. It's easy. Learn to can your tomatoes. Tomatoes can and store beautiful for long term. Just get yourself out there. Get some spices on hand. All these packets I keep in one area. But I also am starting to put some in Mylar bags, even though, as you can see, if you can see that little silver rim right there, it's hard to see. Okay, that little silver rim, these are already in Mylar. There is no air in these bags. See that? There's no air. So these are ready to be put back. There is no reason why you couldn't. You can check your ingredients. It's mainly flours and starches and stuff. So yeah, you can put this stuff back. None of this is hard, guys. I really want to hear back from y'all as far as some ideas you might have, some recipes you may have came up with to use your food stores that are simple and easy for other people to share and learn how to make. And that's pretty much it for this morning. And this is basically what I did at Walmart. And I don't normally buy the name brand. I'm going to go for the great value. I'm going to save money everywhere I can. I couldn't get great value chili mix, but I've still got my chili powders and stuff here. So, and I have my ingredients. If I want to make chili, I can make chili from scratch. And that's another thing to be able to do as well, is cook from scratch. If you're cooking everything in a box, like hamburger helper, tuna helper, chicken helper, when those boxes run out, do you really know how to cook? It's time to learn, guys. It really is time to learn. Even if it's just learning crock pot meals, because a crock pot meal can be converted into a Dutch oven open fire meal very easily. Just about anything you put in that crock pot, you can put in an electric pressure cooker, a stovetop pressure cooker, or your cast iron Dutch oven. Another thing to keep in mind. Now, I have a 12-year-old that lives with me. What do we do with our kids? What do we do with ourselves when the grid goes down? We've done our chores for the day. There's no TV. There's no radio. There's nothing to do. So what I have started doing is picking up, these are the adult coloring books. Walmart is now stocking a huge variety of them. So I bought a few, and as you can see, it's just some basic coloring. Some of them are easy, some of them are complicated. And this is just to keep the mind occupied. And they say it's very good for your brain. So we're getting these, and when my granddaughter, she's been through a lot in the last 2 years. When she starts stressing, and she does, she's at that age and she's been through so much. But when she starts stressing, she will go into her coloring book, and it takes her mind off of her concerns and worries, and she's able to focus on just making sure she's coloring within the lines. She's making sure she's adding the color she's wanting. She has to think, when she gets a complicated picture like that, she has to think how she's going to design the picture. So she has to slow everything down, focus, and think of how her colors will blend. And I think this would be a really, really good prep for all of us adults. Now, we stock puzzles, we've got games, we've got card games. We're starting to stock the Sudokus and the crosswords and the word searches. But this is just one more thing that might be a good prep for you. But don't forget, when you pick these up, pick up your colored pencils too. And a pencil sharpener. And that's basically what I have to share with you on prepping today. I haven't done a lot of actual prepping videos lately, so I'm going to try and step that up a little bit. Oh, I want to talk to you guys about one more thing. Clothing. We're in Florida, okay? Am I buying camouflage clothing? Yes. Are we planning to wear it? No. Not until it's absolutely necessary to hide. Okay? What we have here is just basic tank tops. We're in Florida. You need to stock the clothing that you will be wearing for the next 2 to 3 years. If you're going up in size, then go up a few sizes and have them ready to go. But I guarantee you, if the shit hits the fan, you're going to lose some weight. Guarantee you. We will be so busy, we won't have time to do anything but lose weight. We won't be sitting in front of a TV. We'll be chopping wood. We'll be digging in the garden. We'll be processing food. We're going to be busy people. We're going to be hunting. But stock some clothing to have extra clothing on hand, because we won't know when we can buy clothing again. So have some clothing put back. Take one of those totes you can get at Walmart and fill it up with clothing. Put some cedar in it and have it put aside and ready to go. Rotate through it. Every year, take that out and buy a new stock and put in. Socks, underwear, for us girls, bras, feminine products, you name it. What you wear every day now, you're going to need then as well. I wear flip-flops and sneakers. That's pretty much it. So I always take advantage of the dollar sales on flip-flops. I probably have 20 pairs of flip-flops. Guess what? When you can't go to Walmart or the Dollar Tree to buy any more, you'll be all right for years. Sneakers, the same thing. When they put them on sale, get yourself 1 or 2 extra pairs and have them ready to go. But wear out the ones you're wearing totally before you go into your new pair of sneakers. You'll end up having a whole extra year's worth of wear on that sneaker. Just because it isn't no longer pretty doesn't mean it doesn't serve a purpose. I have sneakers that I've had for 5 or 6 years, probably 7 or 8 years actually, and I mow the grass with those sneakers. There's nothing wrong with them other than they're now green from mowing the grass. But then I have my other sneakers that I wear out when I go out into public. So think about things like that. Plan ahead. Give thought to what you're going to need every day that when the stores close, you can no longer buy. And don't forget those spices. This is really geared to getting this video. I wanted to really talk to you about having spices for your food. I cannot stress that enough. All right, guys. I've rambled enough. God bless. Have a great day.